Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy, and today I'll be replying to Twitter's hashtag STL Sessions Now. Also, you can find him on Twitter at Malik Lindell. It's up on screen. You can see it. That's if you want to cheerlead, follow, or anything if you decide to be disgusted with me in this reply to him. It's not a debunking. It's not a rebuking. It's none of that. I'm going to be honest with you. This guy here, until I can see otherwise, I am going to dub him one of the intelligent people on this planet. And there ain't many intelligent people. All right. They're just not. You see, we had a back and forth, and on Twitter, I'm not going to sit here and try to write out an essay or anything like that, trying to explain my position on something, because I find that outright stupid. I really do. So this guy, he didn't get me, but he piqued me, and I'm interested in answering. And I haven't answered sooner because I couldn't find the damn thread. That's really what happened. I couldn't find the thread. I'm not a Twitter dude. I just don't care. Twitter should just be where you update stuff and move on. And I got in the back and forth, and he asked that ultimate awesome question that people extremely, exceedingly, legendarily rarely ask. And I'm gonna get into it, okay? But I want to check his page out. It says I like this. It says relevant people. I like when I'm relevant. I'm up there with them. I'm relevant. But it says Black Lives Matter, pro-secularism, and leftists. And I'm like, you can't be too bad of a guy. You know. So I'm like, cool. So this is what happens, okay? So here's the whole, by now all the people that just can't, they got that goldfish memory and attention span. They're probably gone by now, so I can get into this. So see the people with good attention span and stuff, they just want to chill and just listen to something for a little bit, they stick around. They're cool. Let's see. So, that's why I always appreciate people that listen. That's why I'm very humble about that. So hold up. Before I get into this, okay, make sure I'm still recording. OBS Studio has been messing with me for a bit. He says the erasure of black women from discussions on police brutality, even amongst black people, is quite sad. The hyper focus on solely black men is simply sad. Now I didn't want to be some fanboy or some like, yay, he talked about women, I like him. I got feelings about people like that. But I'm going to give that a heart right now. So I'm number 13. Should have done that Friday. Any case, if I could have found it. So, and this all took place November 19th when he said that. And Sunny Secular, she basically, I'm not going to read hers. I'm just trying to focus on our thread only. But she was like, hey, look, when I bring up this type of thing, people just, look at me and just, obviously you're just an angry feminist thing. It's not that you bring it up, it's how you bring it up. It's all about the how. Like literally, if I could walk into some Republican's house and say, you're all flaming racist and you make me sick to my damn guts, that's not going to get a good response. The fact that I'm black and walking up into a Republican's home is not going to get a good response. Walking into somebody's home won't get you a good response. So, that fails on multiple levels. And so while I agree with him, I'm like, I agreed, and I'm like, cool. And I was about to move on. I read what Sunny had to write, and I'm like, I get you, but you don't get it. And then I'm like, I'm going to come in with some serious, positive, progressive, forward-thinking, go past your own nose, and all this bubble stuff and just put something out there and see how it go. I said, I wish this silly division would end. Okay, just I start off with this. I wish this silly division would end. Might not be the best way to start, but I'm like, I am sick of this. Personally, I'm just sick of it. Okay, and I wish people would stop trying to find the damn echo chambers and just sit down, chill, think, and think positive. What is the best forward way to do things? Instead of trying to tribalize everything. That's what bugs me. That's why I say what I say most times. Starting over. I wish this silly division would end. Men and women of all minorities catch the shit from the racists among the white people. It's socially and systemic. Why can't we simply push to stop abuse in all forms against all minorities? When has being divided gained true unity? Nobody wanted to answer any of that. That started to tell me a lot, because this guy, I gave him the 13th upvote. Well, the heart up here, you know. And there's a reason why I don't like certain things. Because I know what a lot of people do, and it bugs me, and I think it's wrong, and I think it's an emotional grift, and it sucks. But when I wrote that, you know, he responded. I guess he didn't want to, he was like, I'm just offended. I guess that's what happened. Or he was like, so I can't give a motive to why he wrote what he wrote. But I felt what he wrote was kind of not right. So he says, I happen to be black. So I'm talking from the perspective of a black person, not all racial minorities. And I wrote, and that is the problem. And this is when he showed me his true intelligence. I was like, this dude is deep. 3 letters, 1 word. He asked, how? That is awesome. And he hasn't said anything since. And I'm glad, because, and that was December 2nd. I couldn't find the damn thing until today. I suck at the Twitters. He asked how. If someone makes a claim, if someone says something that's assertive, ask them who, what, when, where, how, why. One of those. Wait for an answer. Don't try to wait for the answer you want to hear. Wait for the answer, and then maybe ask further questions or try to expand upon something. But don't just stupid, dumb. No. So this dude didn't go into any of that. He just, how? I'm like, I have got to respond to this guy. And I started typing. I think I got about 3 lines in, and I said, screw that. I got this guy might be one of those real good, positive people out there, just not, it's, like, I want good and positive things for everyone. I'm not going to come across as somebody that's, kissing babies and scratching puppy bellies and telling everyone that you're beautiful and honest and true and you all have the glowing light of white Jesus. I'm just not that dude. You might catch that with Jimmy Snow or some people like that, but I'm not going to grift you like that. That's just, I'm not a capitalist. I participate in capitalism, but I'm not a capitalist. So to answer this dude, why is that the problem? What do you say? He's like, I happen to be black. All right, cool. I'm black too. I have not won a damn thing because of it. Now, he says, so I'm talking from the perspective of a black person. That's the damn problem. He says, not all racial minorities. That is the compounding problem. Because if you only come at a situation from a single perspective, you have screwed yourself royally. For example, my co-hostess at times, my woman, Sidra, was telling me about a female salon story. And it was about this woman. It was watching, there was, it was in there, and there's, obviously the whole police beat down on African Americans happening. So they're in there, they're getting their stuff done, and all of a sudden it comes on the news, and they're showing that these Hispanic people are getting messed up. They start talking about the border and how they're being, and I've gone over and I have raged about it, about how they're just mistreating people, at the Mexican border, so. This black woman, she gets the remote and she just turns it off. She didn't want to hear anymore. Woman next to her says, I wish I could just turn it off like that. And that bursted about 3 bubbles. And I'm like, man, it really, woo. And that's what happens with black people. Every time there is anything to show the truth of what police are doing to black people, white people, the racist ones or the apathetic ones, they just turn the channel. When it's shown, when people like Dusty Smith show what happens on the streets to white people, black people, males, females, at the hands of the police, he gets a bunch of downvotes. How you gonna downvote that? You see, you think about what evil-minded people would downvote showing the truth, opposed to living blissfully in your bigoted racial lie. And so, talking from the perspective of a black person means you have to have a belief on how black people must have a certain perspective. And that right there is like saying, because I'm black, I should have a like-minded perspective as yourself. And see, if that's not what you're saying, then you need to represent yourself better, because that is not cool. And then say not all racial minorities. Just why? I'm just saying, black people were, look, this place was first founded by the indigenous people. They had their tribes and kept breaking up into tribes. This was their land. And then some Italian jackwads come here. British jackwads come here. Weren't going to be able to survive. The indigenous people say, let us help you, because you're starting to eat each other and the dead and other gross things. And they help them survive. And in return, they are labeled savages. They are beaten, murdered, killed, raped, multiple genocides, land taken over. And then black people were bought in, Africans were bought in. And they were done the same way, called the same things, and then found ways to say worse things. Work for me for free or die. Can you do anything less? So, and it's not just them, no, but then those were from Europe, the Scottish and Greek and others and stuff, and they were coming here, and because they had red hair or a certain olive-ish skin tone, and they weren't that British white or whatnot, and certain Italians too. They, even though Amerigo found this, probably named it after his daughter, they got treated like crap. The redheads were pretty much put into brothels and things like that. Every minority has gotten treated like crap. Those from Mexico, they got treated just as bad. The Chinese were bought over. Japanese internment camps too. Every minority has gotten annihilated. So speaking from a perspective kills the true perspective. It's the end of abuse, the end of systemic racism, the end of all of these bigoted, racist, homophobic, and whatnot people that are in office. These people that are saying, let's rule by the grace of God and all that crap. It should be out. It should be done. But it's not. Because nobody wants to bite the bullet, take that hit, do the right thing, and actually get them out. That's the problem. And because of that is being the problem, and having this, because if this doesn't represent you properly, you know, if you were talking about at that moment, I'm coming at this at the perspective of a black person, not all racial minorities. At the moment, okay. But this is my first time talking to you. You know, and text can't deliver, you know, it can't deliver the fluctuation of voice and things like that. It can't tell, is it sarcasm, is it not? It can't tell you that. You have to really put that in there. Because sometimes you can write it as sarcastic as you want, but it also might sound like you're just trying to give a fake pity party. So you got to be careful. I know I've messed up enough. So I stopped having conversations. The only one I really converse with would be Sonny Secular or someone that has talked to me enough because they should know a little bit how genuine I am on certain topics. So that's why and how and everything in the middle, why that is the problem. You being black should not override the need and cause of true equality. Black people, you want to talk from being coming from a black perspective? Here's one from a black perspective then, because I know you don't share it. I know that, and I'm not coming down on you like you think, but maybe this will smarten you up in this area, because I've been smartened up enough this year. Woo! But black people have civil rights. Hold up, black people had to get the ability to vote and vote Republican because, you know, Democrat was the only party. So black people first started in voting for the other party. Black people, ultimately, civil rights. Black people wanted equality. And while the entire time doting on, we want equality, we want what you want, black people were also the king in hating other minorities. Don't like gay people. Don't like anything. Why? Because the Bible. Why because the Bible? Because white man said God wants this and that's what we want too. Why? Reasons. Trying to feel accepted, really. Never gonna happen. You know, why? Because we won't do the right thing. Black people want that equality so much they won't give anyone else the equality. Black people are just as good at keeping, you know, same sex or transgender or whatnot in the closet. Want some equality but won't give it to anybody else. That's a perspective. You can't say you want what you aren't willing to give. That makes you a hypocrite. That makes you a bully. That makes you a piece of shit. That's if you are like that. That's if you are doing that. Not saying that you are. I don't want to come at this as, oh, I'm a black man. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself like that. Yeah, I know I'm black. And I know because of that, people are not going to give me the fair shake that I deserve in my one life. Because I'm not living my life trying to get to the next life. If that's the case, I'd have offed myself ages ago and been like, I'm finally there. Because I don't believe in that dumb shit. So making sure that you have an actual true perspective is far more important than a tribalistic perspective. Broaden your horizons. And I'm only basing this on the little that you told me. Okay? I'm not saying you're a bad person. Never did. I think you're fucking brilliant for asking how. All right? But I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you the truth from my perspective, from things that are most likely undeniable, It's obvious. You can look at it. You can observe it. You can touch it, see it, feel it, hear it. You can do everything. It's right there and it's undeniable. That's the areas I come from. And I also come from the area of we need solutions, not cheerleaders. We need solutions, not fanboys. We need solutions, not fangirls. We need solutions, not tribes. We need solutions. And if I could go out there and beat a war drum and get everybody on my side and we could, do the right thing, the actual right thing, then yeah, I'd be out there doing it. So, STL sessions now. I'm serious. Thank you for that awesome question. Seriously. Because I said a lot of stuff on Twitter, and you are the first person to ever ask that damn question. The first. So thank you. Truthfully. And anyone out there, hey, he seems like one of the good guys, A narrow position, a narrow thought, and I got many of my own, don't make you a bad person. It don't. Doing harmful things to others and stirring up harmful things to hurt others that are not harming anyone else, now that makes you a bad guy. Or girl. We're all about equality here. Or non-binary people. Non-binary. So if you're binary, I guess if you're one, you got a dick. If you're an O, you got a vagina. Is that how it work? Is that how it work? I'm just saying. I'm not a number. So I don't get that. In any case, thank you for asking that question. I hope you all enjoyed listening to this and whatnot. That was a good one, and I enjoyed it. So with that said, I want to thank you for your time, patience, and energy, and listening to all this. And hey, join the Discord and stuff. The place you could ask questions up there. Hold my feet to a fire or try to stump me on something. And I might start doing recordings up there. So if you want to, you might listen while I do a recording. If you want to jump in, I call that video bombing. Hey, you can jump on in and derail the topic or whatnot. It's up to you. I'm just saying, don't troll, don't be a jackwad. So if I say something, you're like, whoa, that needs to be challenged. You can jump right on in. That's what I'm going to end up doing. So join in on that. We'll see how that roll. I was doing it on Twitter, not Twitter, but Twitch, but that didn't work out so well. So with that said, this has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.